First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zeng Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dupten Tarchi. And we'll pay homage to the 3 jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of the group practice today, Nam Gurukuli Buddha Mother, and all of her retinue. Simu, Danchen Katcho, Tutan City, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples. Good evening, how do you do?
Hola amigo, te quiero mucho. Sugoin, Ichiban, Kimoji, Jumi, Yapi, Bling Bling, Konbanwa. 大家晚安，大家好。
Good evening, everybody. Today, we will start the Dhamma teaching of the Saturday webcast. And at the beginning, let me share a joke first. There is a family, and the husband told the wife, honey, every day we eat the same food. Do we have a choice? And the wife replied, of course. You can choose to eat or not to eat. No choice. Like for the pandemic this time, there are many things that we have no choice. For example, eating at home, and Simu always made delicious dishes. She always makes different dishes, and they're all very tasty. And we have eaten it for a month, 2 months, 3 months. And I don't know how much longer I have to eat it. No choice. Because up till now, we still have the stay-home order in Seattle. So it hasn't been relieved. So this pandemic, due to the coronavirus, will it be on you
也
or
是一样
not,
没得选择了，
you also have no choice.
没得选择。
No choice.
所以这个问题呢，我觉得
Therefore,
世界上的人都是一样，都是
it's the same for everybody in the world. You have no choice.
那么我们只能够自我防护，
So we can only protect ourselves.
像美国，
Like in America,
美国华盛顿州
we live in the state of Washington,
其实也有3大问题存在。
and we have 3 major issues here. The first one
就是冠状病毒的，
is the problem of coronavirus.
一定要等冠状病毒的问题
We have to wait until we resolve the issues of coronavirus
才有一个新的开始。
before we have a new
不解决
beginning.
冠状病毒
If we don't resolve
也没得
the
选。
coronavirus, we always have no choice.
第二个问题
And the second problem
就是 economy，
is the economy.
这一次啊，比 economy tsunami
This
更加的
time,
厉害，
it's worse than the economy
全世界的
tsunami.
经济都受到影响。
The global economy is
不
affected.
要讲影响别人，
That's
也影响失踪。
not just talking about Grandmaster himself is affected.
没得选择
I have no choice.
，no people coming。人潮就是钱潮，
Because people
很
means
快的，师尊的生日
money.
就到了，很快
Grandmaster's birthday is coming very soon. And the autumn ceremony is also coming soon. If we don't resolve the
这活动的
coronavirus,
所有的事，
then all True Buddha schools, temples, chapters, centers, and all the Dharma propagators would
金融
experience the economy tsunami.
经济风暴、金融海啸、经济
The
海啸
financial tsunami,
没得
recession,
选择，大家
no
都
choice. Everybody is the same.
第三个问题，
And the third issue,
因为有了冠状病毒，
because
有
of
了经济的问
coronavirus
题，
and because of the economic problem
在美国呢，
in
还有种
America,
族的问题，
we also have racism.
师尊是认为，其实
Grandmaster
是人造出来的问题。
In Grandmaster's opinions, race is not an issue, but people create problems on it.
人生而平等，不管你是
So Grandmaster believes that
非洲裔，
everybody is equal because you don't act for oneself, whether it's
华裔，
African Americans or Asian Americans or Chinese Americans or Mexican Americans,
其实人生而平等，
Hispanics. Actually, we are all born equal. We are all born equal.
讲
So
是
when we talk about race and ethnicity
会有种族的方面的
and freedom, there shouldn't be any race issues.
那是一种种族的问题，就是一种偏见。
So the issue about race is because of bias,
当然，所有的人都是自由
because in the terms of liberty and freedom, everybody has the same freedom and everybody is of the same race. There shouldn't be any differentiations about race, because religion respects lives. In Buddhism, in terms of Buddha Dharma, each life has Buddha nature and they are all equal. So, in True Buddha School's deliverance, we help everybody, all races. It's free and equal. So anybody with issues about race has bias, because in the eyes of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all sentient beings are the same. Now is the session on question and answer. You ask and I answer. Grandmaster, do we have a complete set of procedure for the Magic Lamdre practice? Because on the internet there's only the visualization and Grandmaster's teachings, but not the complete practice procedure. The second question, are we allowed to add the visualization of body sacrifice to transform oneself into emptiness prior to entering samadhi in our yidam practice? Or can we perform this visualization of body sacrifice at any time? First question, that you don't have a complete practice procedure. Master Lian Wang, do we have it or not? He doesn't remember. There should be, because Magic Lamdre was transmitted by Grandmaster, right? And the body sacrifice practice was also transmitted by Grandmaster. And there was the mantra and the visualization, step by step, and third, the mudra. So with the mudra, visualization, and mantra, so that would comprise a complete set of sadhana. So in the body sacrifice dharma, you need to visualize yourself to be like Mount Sumeru. I remember I have talked about the black wrathful mother when Magic Lamdre transformed to become the black wrathful Dakini, holding the Kartika, the carved knife, and to cut your head and your four limbs. And then you transform your skull to become extremely huge, and then your bones as the stalks, as the frame where you can put the kapala or the skull cup, and then you place all of your body inside the kapala, and then to burn it to become a red nectar ambrosia. And then you offer this ambrosia to the 10 Dharma realms, up to the 4 Sichli realms and 6 to the 6 rebirth realms. And this can become a complete set of sadhana. And when you invoke Magic Lamdre, you have to chant the mantra of Magic Lamdre and the black wrathful Dakini. And there's a mantra for her too. After you complete your visualization, you recite the mantra of Magic Lamdre and the mantra of black wrathful Dakini. And when you become the red ambrosia, you make offering of it. This is a cutting practice. And the lineage of Magic Lamdre is Padampa Sangye. Dampa Sangye. In Mahayana Buddhism was also the patriarch of Zen Buddhism, Bodhidharma. And in Tibet, he's referred as the Padampa Sangye. So with mantra, visualization, and after the visualization, you have sacrificed your body. Then you have entered into the realm of no self. And in this realm of no self, your mind and consciousness are gone. Then you become very relaxed. And you're in a state of non-abiding, non-dwelling. And that state of no dwelling or non-abiding is the Buddha nature. And that's the body sacrifice dharma. So in meditation, it's called relax and open, because you have sacrificed your body, you're gone. So open and natural, which is one with the universe consciousness, and that's Buddha nature. So that's Buddha nature, Mahamudra, and great perfection, and also the Rigpa, the basic realization. So we should have the complete set of practice procedure. At the Rainbow Temple website, there was a complete practice procedure there. You can check on it. And because of this cutting spiritual cultivation, it's the highest realm of Zen Buddhism. They are the same. The highest realm of Zen Buddhism, is the same as the body sacrifice dharma practice of Magic Lamdre or the cutting practice. So you should practice it according to the sadhana. When you enter into samadhi in your yidam practice, you want to enter into yidam, you want to be in union with the yidam. You don't have to add the body sacrifice visualization. So when you quiet down, you should just follow the practice procedure so that it doesn't become messy. Because Yidam practice is Yidam practice. Magic Labdron practice is Magic Labdron's practice. The Black Dakini's practice is Black Dakini's practice. Don't mix them up. So the cutting practice, we can say, is a very high Dharma practice in our Samadhi practice. So in this cutting off practice, there is no Yidam because you don't exist. So for question 2, when you do your other Yidam practice and you want to do visualization of the body sacrifice Dharma, that's going to be chaotic. That would be confusing because you have to chant Magic Labdron's mantra or Black Dakini's mantra, and how about your Yidam mantra then? So please don't mix them up, don't confuse them. Now, I would like to answer this next question. I sincerely beseech your advice, Grandmaster. Nowadays, in big cities, many temples and local god temples prohibit the burning of spirit money. It is also prohibited in city building complexes. Even burning a little bit of environmentally friendly spirit money can create complaints. So what can we do to save spirit monies to the earth god or spirits in the netherworld? So this is about environmental protection.
Big city temple and name God, 土神、土地神、土地公，这个 temple 红那金炉 city building 更有些已不允许烧纸金子。
So in big cities, temples and local god temples prohibit the burning of spirit money. Also prohibited in city buildings and complexes. Burning even a little bit of environmental friendly spirit money can create complaints. So what should we do? So this is a good question because we're talking about environmental protection. Good thing that here at the Siat-Lechang temple we can still burn the spirit money. Of course, sometimes there are people or neighbors who complain. But generally, we use all kinds of ways to eliminate the smoke, to dissipate the smoke. So the environmentally friendly spirit papers should generate even less smoke. So let's find a way. Maybe we could just burn a check. Then we can just burn one piece of paper. So the check of the Netherworld Bank, as long as it's authorized. you know, bills and spirit money. You know, some people say it's counterfeit money, or this is fake spirit money. You know, the dollar bills actually is made of paper too. So, or the paper money of all countries was just authorized by their countries. Like in Taiwan, they authorize the NT dollars, and United States recognizes US dollars, and Hong Kong is Hong Kong dollars, and Japan, they authorizes the Japanese yen. And someone asked me, what is your name? And I just said yen, and he did not get it, so I said Japanese money, yen.
My name is yen. 一个字 Japanese money.
Just with one word, yen, Japanese money. So I'm a Japanese yen. So now, when you write a check that's authorized by True Buddha School with just one piece of paper, it would solve the problem. So spirit money for the earth god or the spirits in the netherworld, you can use checks. As long as True Buddha School authorizes these checks, and Grandmaster would go to the netherworld and compromise, negotiates with the netherworld bank, then the checks would has its use. Then the checks would work. So we have to find ways. We have checks in the world that are recognized and authorized by the governments, and True Buddha School also have checks that's authorized by True Buddha School. Then it can be used. That would be very environmentally friendly, right? Second question, in these places, on Tomb Sweeping Festival and the Universal Deliverance of the Ghost Festival and similar events, where customarily we burn spirit money, on this auspicious days, should we just do our practice, recite sutras, and dedicate the merits instead? That's even better. Yes. As a tantric cultivators, tantric practitioners, in places where they prohibit burning spirit money, at the Tomb Sweeping Festival and the Universal Deliverance of the Ghost Festival and similar events, you can recite sutras and dedicate the merits of your practice. That's very good. And on top of it, you can also burn a piece of check. That would be more wonderful. Next question. Grandmaster once conferred the empowerment for the 21 Taras at one of the grand ceremonies, yet recently you stated that for the deity yoga of a particular Tara, one is still required to receive an empowerment for it. My question is, what kind of practices can one do upon receiving the empowerment of 21 Taras? I will say this. When we take refuge, you start your 4 preliminary practices. If you want to listen to Grandmaster's 5th instructions and key formulas, in your 4 preliminary practices, you should read the book on the 5th teachings to liberation. Then the 4 preliminary practices were divided into the great prostration, great mandala offering, fourfold refuge, and the Vajraheart repentance practice. Although the 4 preliminary practices are divided into 4, and each has its own key formulas. If you want to study them one by one and practice them, you can do it after receiving the refuge initiation empowerment. Or if you want to, it's okay if you want to get empowerment for each of them again. It's the same concept for the 21 Taras. The overall empowerment for 21 Taras. If you want to be clear about the key formulas for each of the 21 Taras, then you can perform their practices. But if you don't understand the 5th instructions of the 21 Taras, even though you have received the overall empowerment for 21 Taras, you can still ask for the empowerment one by one in order to do the practice. What I meant is, if you completely understand all the 5th teachings of 21 Taras, then you can do the practice for each of the Taras one by one. But when you do this practice one by one, you want to understand more of the 5th instructions, then you can ask Grandmaster for them one by one. Now you understand? So if you want the empowerment one by one, it's fine. Or if you just receive the complete overall empowerment for 21 Taras, it's fine too. However, let me tell you, there's a disciple who offered $100 and listed 100 empowerments. So they asked for 100 empowerments for $100. So it's the same as $1 for each empowerment. So 100 empowerments. Do you think that's good? Think about it on your own. Is that a good idea? Therefore, in my personal opinion, don't be greedy about the quantities in your Dharma practice. Because if you can gain spiritual union with Green Tara as your yidam, in the Green Tara deity yoga, then naturally you would gain spiritual union with all 21 Taras, including the white Tara and all the deities even. In Tantrayana we say, one is many, many is one. If you gain spiritual response in one Dharma practice, frankly, let me tell you, then you would gain spiritual response from all Dharma practices. If you cannot gain any spiritual response from one Dharma practice, it would be impossible for you to gain it from any other Dharma practices. So therefore, in our Dharma practice, please don't worry about the quantity. Like in the 4 preliminary practices, if you gain spiritual response from one practice, the other 3 would be easy to gain. And the same thing, once you gain spiritual responses from the preliminary practice, it will be easy for you to gain it from the Yidam yoga. And it would be easy to gain attainments or fruitions in your inner tantric practices, the chi channels and light drops. And once you gain attainments or fruitions in your inner tantric practices, it will be easy for you to enter into the highest yoga tantra practices. Once you have attainments in the highest yoga tantra, then all the chakras would be open. Then that would be Mahamudra and great perfection. Then you have all 4 levels of empowerments. So these are all very important. Let me tell you, the kite can fly because it is against the wind. A human being grows because of adversity. And you get in a car accident because you drive the wrong way. So they all make sense. So we just follow the procedure and naturally you will fly. I remember there was a joke. Someone asked a parrot. Someone asked the parrot, "Hey, I can speak Chinese. How about you?" And the parrot said, "Sure, I can speak Chinese." Ni hao. How do you do, everyone? So the parrot can say that. Thank you. And that person asked the parrot again, "Can you speak English?" And he replied, "Yes, I can." So the parrot can speak English. So the person asks again, "How come you are able to speak English?" Because he's a pet, so he had belonged to Chinese people or English-speaking people. And this person asks, "Can you fly?" And the parrot replied, "Of course." Of course I can fly. It's easy. And the parrot asks in reply, "How about you? Can you fly?" And the person replied, "Sure, I can fly." And the parrot replied, "Bull, because a human being cannot fly." So, in order for us to fly, our souls have to be in our own control. Then you have that fleet-footedness, and in a split of a second, you can go wherever you want. Now let me continue to talk about Lamdre. Fourth, the ultimate true form of the merit accumulation path. At its highest point, it is endowed with the three thinking to bless the bliss, etc., of 12 consorts endowed with lotus, and up to its lowest point where the mind chi accumulates and assimilates at the most supreme pistil, which give rise to the cause of the realization wisdom of the most supreme and pure bliss and emptiness. Altogether, it is referred as the ultimate true form of the merit accumulation path. In sum, on the collection of the cause of meditation, which is also called the merit accumulation path, if one doesn't rise to meditation, it is due to the fault of falling off from the path. Then it is no different from the paramitayana. So I need to explain this piece because this belongs to the highest Yoga Tantra. So if you have not received the empowerment for the highest Yoga Tantra, I should not explain it to them. So at its highest point, it is endowed with the three thinkings to bless the bliss, etc., of 12 consorts endowed with lotus. And to its lowest point, where the mind chi accumulates and assimilates at the most supreme pistil, which give rise to the cause of the realization wisdom of the most supreme and pure bliss and emptiness. Altogether, it is referred as the ultimate true form of the merit accumulation path. In sum, on the collection of the cause of meditation, which is also called the merit accumulation path, if one doesn't give rise to meditation, it is due to the fault of falling onto the path. Then it is no different from the paramitayana. Let me just explain it briefly because I cannot get into the details. At the highest point, at the highest Yoga Tantra, there are three visualizations. To bless the generation of that bliss, the first visualization is to purify the environment. To purify the environment. And the visualization of the lotus blossom. The visualization of the lotus blossom. And the second visualization is the visualization of the yidam. The male practitioner should visualize himself to be the male yidam, your own yidam, and the female practitioner should visualize your female yidam. The first visualization is to purify the environment. The second visualization is for the yidam or deity. And the third visualization is for the secret area. So that's the 3 visualizations to bless the bliss.
12句连明辉为始。
The 12
其实这个时候
consorts endowed
也
with
就是
lotus.
可以
At
这样
this
子讲，
time we can
叫
say
12句连明辉为始，加持喜等
to
12句
bless the
连
bliss,
明辉为始
etc. of 12 consorts
这个是
endowed
属
with
于正
lotus.
的一种
This is
啊
belonging to the highest yoga
所以不
tantra.
解释
So I will not explain
加
it.
持喜已经帮你解释
I have explained the 3 thinkings or visualizations to bless the bliss, but I cannot explain
心气即
the
色
next phrase.
其最胜的
And
之间，
to its lowest
这就是
point,
讲密处
where the mind chi accumulates and assimilates at the most supreme
这个
pistil.
发的
That's the secret area,
发的这个雷
which is the pistil of the flower.
明辉的密处，心气
That's
就
the
是
secret area of the consort.
你的念头跟你的气
And the mind chi is your thoughts, and your chi
这个
are
密处
completely
会产
on
生
the
就是
consort's secret area that would generate
身
bliss,
极静最胜空乐
and
见之之意
it would give rise to the cause of the realization of wisdom of the most supreme and pure
极
bliss
清净
and emptiness. So the highest yoga
最
tantra
胜的
primarily is about the supreme
也就
and
是
pure
最
bliss,
胜的空性
which is the most supreme empty nature or
本
emptiness,
觉的智慧
that you would be able to see
会合
the
起
wisdom of the Rigpa or the original realization all together.
所以密教的无上密部
Therefore, the
升起极
tantric
清净
highest yoga tantra
最胜
will
的
give rise to the purest
转化成
and
为
most supreme bliss
看
that is transformed into Buddha
见
nature
证到本
to
质
see
这是
the Rigpa
汇合在
original realization, and they're all combined together.
最快
The
乐
purest, the
最
most
胜
blissful,
空的
and the most supreme
最
empty
高的
nature,
本觉
and the highest
前
wisdom
在这个
and
时候
Rigpa
汇合
all combining
这
at
就是
this moment.
就近的真如之良道
And this is the ultimate true form of the merit accumulation path,
最就近的一个法是
which
真
is
如真如
the
就是佛性
ultimate Dhamma
就是
practice.
本觉就是大手印
And true
也就是大
suchness
圆满
is Buddha nature, Mahamudra, great perfection, and Rigpa. All of this is called the merit accumulation path.
最亲近的最快乐的
So the purest,
最快
the
乐的
most blissful,
本觉
and the most
这些
blissful
汇合起来
emptiness
就是
and
就近
Rigpa
真如的
all together is the ultimate true suchness form of the merit accumulation path.
解释了总之以积极禅定之因
So that's my
总而
explanation.
言之啊
In sum,
你把这
on
个
the
禅定的
collection
所
of
谓
the
的因
cause of meditation
即喜为资粮道，也就是资粮道。
is called the merit accumulation path. So
讲的是因啊，
that's
还
the
没有讲到
cause.
果
We have not talked about the fruit.
即喜为资粮道。所
So
有的为了
only the
禅
cause.
为了你入三昧地禅定的时候
For
所准备的
entering into
一切
meditation,
多
the
叫做资粮
preparation is called the
如
merit
果修
accumulation
必道
path.
切不生禅定。如果你
If
修了这
one
些因
perform this practice, the cause, and you don't give rise to meditation,
怎么办呢？
what should you do?
那就是失意偏堕之良道就不是
Then
很纯正的之良道。
it's not the true merit accumulation path. Then you fall out from it.
无差别。
Then it is no different from the paramita yana. So it's the same as you're not practicing Tantrayana.
修大圣
You're just practicing Mahayana.
修大圣，
That's all you can do.
波罗蜜圣
Paramitayana is the same as Mahayana
就是波罗蜜圣，
or the great vehicle.
没有什么差别。
No different. No difference.
所以这样子讲起来他这一段话的意思是这样。
So the meaning of this excerpt, if you cultivate spiritually through the highest yoga tantra to obtain the ultimate merit accumulation path, that would be called Tantrayana
秘密圣，
or the secret vehicle.
你如果不经过这样子，
If you
只
don't
是积极
go through that process, but you're just collecting the cost of meditation
产生不了这个
and
禅定，
you cannot
就是
generate
这一
meditation,
段话的意思
that would be called the Mahayana or the great vehicle.
我这样子解释已经花了很大的功夫才能够解释出来。
So my explanation is due to my mastery of it. Otherwise, nobody can understand this excerpt, what it's talking about.
好，我们明天呢，
And
讲
tomorrow,
这个功德果。
we will continue to talk about the meritorious fruit chain.
大家很清楚。
What I talk about
除非你
today
观点的时候
may not
再
be
跟你解释
clear to you.
再跟你解释，你才会清楚。
I will, unless you receive my explanation more during the
有
empowerment.
3个大的宗教代表围坐在圆桌上，
There are 3
点燃一根蜡，
religious leaders around the table,
把蜡烛熄灭。
and there are candle being
其
lit,
实这是不对的。
and they're checking who can chant
基督教，它可以
their
像天主教，我认为
Dharma
是基督
name
教
and to extinguish the flame of the candle.
念阿门，阿门，阿门
And the Catholic leader
这个火
said Amen,
在那
Amen,
边点燃，
and the flames continue
道教
burning, and the
积极
Taoists chanted,
热半天，着火也没有。
May the decree be heard and executed, and still the flame of the candle is still burning.
用台语
And the Buddhists
阿弥陀佛，
using Taiwanese chanted 阿弥
利
陀
用
佛,
台语的口型的吹气音，
and because of
整
the
个
word hood, you
火就
can
灭。
blow on the flame,
所以佛教称为大宗。
and the flame of the candle was extinguished. That's why
这个讲跟我刚才讲的那个道
the
理
Buddhism
差不多
was referred as the great religion.
啊。
So this is
是差不多
similar to what I just mentioned about Lamdre.
听得懂的是听得懂，听不懂的还是听不懂。
So my explanation earlier can be understood by those who understand and will not be understood by those who don't understand.
本书
This is a joke about bungee jump.
高空弹跳
So
2800元，
jumping
有一个小姐
from the space, $2,800.
老板太贵了，能不能
And a lady asked
说可以啊？
the boss, that's too
神
expensive.
如果越细 就越便宜。
Can I get it cheaper? Sure.
块的1000块的绳子也有。
If the rope is smaller, it will be
不
cheaper.
要绳子的话，
There are
就免
ropes
费。
for $500, $600. If you don't need any ropes, it's free. Do you want it?
我刚刚已经跟大家谈到，100块钱美金。
I just said it earlier. For $100 US dollars, they ask for 100 empowerments. Sure,
但是有用吗？
but
没用。
will it be effective? No.
所以呢，当你在追求品质的时候，
So
一定要尊重。
when you strive for quality, you have to pay attention to the
你尊
value.
重这个法，你就不可以
So if you
100
cherish the
来
Dharma,
买一个100个摇滚碟，
then you would not spend $100 for 100 remote empowerments.
你如果尊重这个法的价
If
值，
you respect
你要一定
the
要
value of
所以
the
当你在
Dharma,
追求品质的时候，一定要尊重价格。
so when you look for quality,
你
you
要
have to respect the price.
也要尊重，
So if you
不是说
respect
师尊说，
the Dharma, then you have to
师尊是不给人家
respect the value.
不给人家开口要钱的，不给人家开口要。
Grandmaster never set a price. However,
这个法的价格，
you have to respect the value of the Dharma.
我们人生老病死有5种酒，
There are 5 kinds of alcohol for
啤酒
for life.
岁的时候啊，
When you're young, you drink beer. When you're into your career, you drink wine.
就喝红酒。
When you are successful, you drink red wine.
就喝补酒。
And when you're old, you drink tonic
到你
wine.
两脚一伸的时候啊，人家供养你米酒。
And when you're stiff and lying down, you were offered rice wine.
酒也是有分别，
Of course, there are differences in wine too.
华一样是有分别，
The same with the Dharma.
灌顶也是有分别，
Therefore, empowerment is the same.
内灌、
For the base empowerment,
上面灌，
inner empowerment, highest yoga, tantra empowerment, or great perfection empowerment, there are differences. They are not all the same. 每一个人到了中年，每个人终究会发现， When everybody is in the middle age, they would discover the true face of life.
日复一日叫醒你的，
In this
中
life,
年以后，中年以后，
the one who
中
can
年的时候，
wake you up every
能
day
够叫醒你，
in the middle age or old age is
也
not
不是闹钟，
your dream. It's not the alarm. It's not your
而
kids,
是你的膀胱。
but it's your bladder.
年纪轻的人不会了解，
For young people, will not know. They can sleep through the night,
一开始睡可以睡到，
or they can sleep from
睡到
night
明天
to
中午12点
noon the next day. Young people can do
年
that.
纪大了
But as you
叫醒
age,
你的
the one that wake you up
闹钟啊什么
not the alarm, not anything,
而是膀胱
but
叫
your
醒
bladder that would wake you
因
up
为你的时候到了，你就要上厕所，是膀胱叫
because
醒
you have to go to the bathroom.
这个就是一个道理。所以年轻、中
So
年跟
this
老
is the truth. So when you're young,
都是不一
in
样。
middle age or old age, they're all
那
different.
现在呢，跟大家讲一下说
So now,
啊，师母
let me tell you,
是谁叫醒他？
Simu is woken up by whom?
师母现在是通灵人，他通灵。
Simu now is a medium.
我家里面很多的善人，有很多的神明，有很多的神明。
At my home,
菩萨
I have a lot of spirits and gods.
他现在啊，每天起床，
So now,
菩萨跟他讲起床，
every
他就
day,
起床。
she would be woken up by the Bodhisattva.
菩萨
Get up.
用嘴巴
And
在他的耳朵旁边讲，
The Bodhisattva would tell her in her ears to get up.
如果他说我想再睡一会儿，
And
再
if
睡
she
5
said,
分钟
I want
其
to
实
sleep 5 more minutes or 7 more
他就
minutes,
在他的耳边旁边放鞭炮，
then
他就醒过来。
the Bodhisattva would let
真的5分钟就醒过来。我要再睡5分钟，真的5分钟就醒过来。
lit a firecracker
你
in
能
her
够到这种
ears,
境界的时候，
and sure enough, she
就
wakes
不
up
闹钟。
in 5 minutes. So when you reach such a state, you don't need any more alarm.
佛菩萨已经来教
Before the alarm sounds, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas would wake her up already.
要叫起床，
When I was young,
每一次他都拉我的脚，一拉脚我就起床。
they would pull my leg, then I would
有
wake
时
up.
候也一样在耳朵旁边叫我起床。
And sometimes they also call me, wake me up in my ears.
你跟我
So
讲，
if you are in union with your yidam, you can tell your yidam, I want to get up at 7:30 today.
叫你起床。
And sure enough, they would wake you up at 7:30.
你跟本尊合一的时候就有这种现象。
When you're in spiritual union with the yidam, you would experience such things. And now Simu
不管他是
does have it. Whether she sleeps at night
睡午觉，
or napping in the afternoon naps,
只要跟本尊讲几点，
if you tell the
不讲也
yidam
可以，
or you don't
知
tell
道你应
the
该起床
yidam,
了，他就来叫。
and they know when you should get up, and they would call you.
师母现在有这种现象，
So now Simu has this
他
experience.
还有很多种的方式叫他起床。
And there are many ways that they would
他
wake
睡
her
在
up.
这里啊，
And if she
他
sleeps
有
like
时候
this,
床的底下会叩叩叩，
sometimes they would be knocking under the bed and she would wake up.
有的时候啊，
And
把你头
sometimes
扭动一下，你就起
they
来
would twist her
你
head
的脚，
or sometimes pull her leg,
有时候在耳朵旁边叫你，
sometimes
你
call
就起床。
into her ears, wake up.
甚至整个沙发，
Or the whole sofa.
这个沙发哦都会动，沙发整个都会动。
If she's lying
你
on
再
the
不起床
sofa,
就显重
the whole sofa would move. And if you still don't get up,
跟我以前一
then
样，
the sofa would
以前我
turn
起来
around.
说话的时候
the
啊
same before with me.
我躺着，他叫我起床修法，时间到要起
And
床
it's
修法。
time for me to get up and practice. And I said, no, I don't want to get up. It's so cold.
不想起来修法，他把我整个人
And they would pick
拉
me
起来
up
倒立，
upside
然后再给
down
我放下，啪
and then drop me.
你非起来修法不可。
Then you have to get up and practice.
师尊有这种感应，现在师母
Grandmaster had such experience, and now Simu does. And Simu thought it was a psychological, or because her mental issues affected. But the sofa was trembling. Even when she woke up, she saw the sofa move. The brain could not let the sofa trembling, right? Or psychologically, you cannot let the sofa to be jumping, right? So the spirits do exist. Those are signs of the spirit world. You may have heard of this joke before. They're a couple of the same age and they're celebrating their birthdays together. And in merriment, the angel appeared, and the angel said, I am celebrating your 60th birthday, and so say your wish and I will definitely fulfill it. And the wife said, oh, I want to travel around the world. And the angel said, sure, wish fulfilled. And wow. And in her hands there are the tickets to go around the world. And then the angel asked the husband, are you sure you can fulfill my wish? And the angel said, sure. I stay true to my words. And the husband was extremely happy, and he said, I really wish that I will have or hug a woman 30 years younger than I am. And the angel said, sure. And the husband becomes 90 years old. So don't be greedy. So what we talk about Lamdre today, frankly, I could barely talk about it. It's meaningless. Lamdre talking about this, about the ultimate true suchness form of the meritorious path, merit accumulation path. I felt unhappy. I cannot explain it clearly. I cannot explain it. And even when I say it, many people will not understand. That's really meaningless. Meaningless. That's in Cantonese. That's. I'm sorry. Talking about this Lamdre, I feel embarrassed. Really? Is this meaningful? No, meaningless. Even when I said it, I felt embarrassed. Feel sorry. If you want to truly understand this part, I will explain it to you in private,
我可以跟你讲，但是在公开的场所，
but not
我真的是
publicly.
不能够讲，
I cannot say it.
所以不好意思。
So sorry. Please
我
forgive
现
me.
在有一样的，刚刚开始起头讲，我有3个期望。
Now, let me say I have 3 wishes.
请这个所有的佛菩萨听。
Please, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, listen.
冠状病毒
The first one,
少一点，
I hope the coronavirus can disappear sooner
第2个，
rather than later. Second,
让全世界上的经济
I hope the global
能够
economy
起飞。
can take off again.
第3个，
Third,
不能有种族的歧视，
there shouldn't be any racism.
所有的人都是平等、自
That
由、
all
民主，
people should be
不
equal,
能歧视。
free,
这是我心中的3个期
and I wish
望。
them free from racial discrimination, that they have liberty and democracy and equality. Om Mani Padme Hum.